to do a variation on the bird dog exercise, but we're going to make it a little bit more exciting. I have here a kettlebell, which is 9 pounds, and I'm going to be using first the reformer, mostly because it's a wide surface, and then I'm going to use that bench because it's a narrow surface. So I do need something elevated. You could use like a massage table or coffee table, something like that. Maybe even an ottoman, if you know what that is. Footstool is the more modern layman's term for that. But you want something that's off the ground that challenges you a little bit because we're looking for a different base of support to challenge our stability. So what I'm going to do is set myself up in my classic 4-point kneeling position, which means wrists under shoulders and knees under hips, chin away from the chest, a little tension in my core, and I should still be able to breathe into my ribs. My eyes are about 2 feet in front of me on the floor to keep my neck in a good position. And I'm just going to assume my bird dog position. Now, this is my harder side, my right side, okay? So this is the first challenge of the posture. The exercise. Can I just keep myself stable in this position, all right? And as you can see, this side is super easy for me, or relatively easy, okay? This side is a little bit harder. What makes it hard? I'm wanting to shift my pelvis over to the side. All right, so what we need to remember in this exercise is that I'm trying to pull or think about pulling using my obliques one hip point towards one rib cage in a diagonal line. So there's a relationship between this glute and this shoulder, and I'm trying to get that diagonal line going so that I have some stability in my core, okay? I'm also using my transversus abdominis, which is my kind of core sitting muscle. So I'll get back into that. I'm going to get back into my posture. So there I am. I want to make sure that my hip points are both down towards the ceiling, and down towards the mat. And as soon as I made that adjustment, I had more success. Now I'll try the other side, which is relatively easy. And then we're going to add a layer. So bring myself into this position, chin away from the chest, eyes forward, get my hip points down. My core is engaged, not navel to the spine, but more I'm thinking about creating some tension. And I'm going to start to row. So obviously I have this in the way, and I can only row so much. This side is easy, all right? So one side very easy for me, one side a little bit more challenging, but very doable on this surface. So we're going to switch it up. I'm going to challenge myself now. So I'm going to go to this bench, and I'm going to be on the side here. I just want to make sure that we can see the bench in the frame. So I'm going to go to the bench, I'm going to get into my 4-point kneeling position, I'll have my kettlebell handy. Same thing, I'm going to have my hand on the bench, and I can go to the side. I want to make sure that I'm not hyperextending and leaning into my elbows. Chin away from the chest, eyes forward. I'm going to get myself centered over my hip. Start by pulling my hip point down. I'm thinking about my right hip point connecting to my left ribs. Tension in the core, chin away from the chest, eyes forward, and I begin to row. And here we are. This is the exercise. Now to talk about the rowing action, as I go down, my shoulder blade has to spread away from my spine. I'm not just letting my arm kind of dislocate out of the socket, but I am letting the shoulder blade spread away from the spine on the right side as I press my shoulder blade wide across my back on the left side. And then I'm going to exhale and pull my shoulder blade towards my spine on the right side. So I'm maintaining that pressing situation on the left while I move fully through the shoulder blade on the right. I will switch. So I'll get into my position. Again, this side is relatively easy. And we row. So again, I'm pressing away with the shoulder blade on the right. I'm letting the shoulder blade on the left go all the way down without just letting the shoulder hang off the body. And then I'm pulling the arm all the way back up. Notice as I pull, I'm not letting the elbow fly up towards the ceiling. So I'm trying to get the motion happening more from the shoulder blade than I am from just the movement of the long bone. And that's the exercise.